Is taking drugs into jail a serious crime in Oklahoma? Taking drugs into a jail or detention facility in Oklahoma is a very serious criminal offense. Oklahoma prosecutors and law enforcement agencies aggressively pursue allegations involving contraband inside correctional facilities because of the security and safety risks involved. A conviction can expose a person to felony penalties, prison time, substantial fines, probation restrictions, and a permanent criminal record. Oklahoma strictly prohibits taking drugs into jail. Oklahoma law prohibits individuals from knowingly bringing prohibited contraband into jails, prisons, detention centers, or other correctional facilities. Illegal drugs are one of the most serious forms of contraband because of the danger they may create for inmates, jail staff, and facility operations. These cases commonly arise when a person is arrested on unrelated charges and later found to possess controlled substances during the booking process or while entering the jail facility. In other situations, prosecutors may allege that someone intentionally attempted to smuggle drugs to inmates through visitation, mail, deliveries, or other means. Even small amounts of drugs can lead to serious charges. Many people mistakenly believe they cannot face major criminal exposure if the case involves only a small amount of drugs. However, Oklahoma law often treats introducing drugs into a correctional facility far more seriously than simple possession outside the jail setting. The location of the alleged offense becomes extremely important. Prosecutors often argue that introducing narcotics into a detention facility creates unique security concerns and risks of violence, overdoses, trafficking, or institutional disruption. As a result, conduct that might otherwise result in a lesser possession charge outside the jail can become a significantly more serious felony when it occurs inside or while entering a correctional facility. Intent and knowledge often become central issues. One of the major issues in these cases is whether the accused knowingly possessed the drugs or knowingly brought them into the jail. Some individuals claim they forgot the substances were in a pocket, purse, wallet, or vehicle when they were arrested. Others argue they were unaware the substances existed at all or did not know another person placed them there. The prosecution generally must prove that the accused knowingly possessed or introduced the contraband. Because of this, the surrounding circumstances, statements made during booking, body camera footage, search procedures, and witness testimony often become critical evidence. Additional charges may also apply. In many Oklahoma cases, prosecutors file multiple criminal charges arising out of the same incident. Depending on the facts, a person accused of bringing drugs into a jail may also face allegations involving possession of controlled dangerous substances, possession with intent to distribute, trafficking, possession of paraphernalia, conspiracy, and furnishing contraband to inmates. The existence of additional charges can substantially increase sentencing exposure and complicate plea negotiations or trial strategy. Jail contraband cases often involve search and constitutional issues. Defense attorneys frequently examine whether officers properly conducted searches and whether constitutional protections were violated during arrest or booking. In some cases, important issues may involve whether the search was lawful, whether there was a violation of their Miranda rights, whether statements were voluntary, whether the accused had actual possession of the drugs, or whether the substances were properly tested and identified. Because jail contraband prosecutions often rely heavily on law enforcement testimony and physical evidence, careful review of procedures and reports can be extremely important. A conviction can carry long-term consequences. A conviction involving drugs and jail contraband can have consequences extending far beyond incarceration. Individuals convicted of these offenses may face permanent felony records, employment difficulties, loss of professional licenses, housing problems, restrictions involving firearms, probation or parole complications, and immigration consequences in some situations. For individuals already facing other criminal charges, the additional jail contraband allegations may also significantly affect bond decisions, plea negotiations, and sentencing outcomes from the court. Defending against the allegations of taking drugs into jail. Every jail contraband case depends heavily on its specific facts. Some defenses may involve lack of knowledge, lack of possession, unlawful searches, mistaken identity, chain of custody issues, or disputes regarding the nature of the substance itself. In some situations, the defense may argue that the accused never intended to bring drugs into the facility and was never given an opportunity to disclose or surrender the substances before entering the jail. In other cases, attorneys may challenge the reliability of the evidence or the legality of the investigation. Because these cases can become technically and procedurally complex, early investigation is often critical. Tulsa criminal defense attorneys. Many people underestimate how aggressively Oklahoma prosecutors pursue allegations involving drugs inside correctional facilities. Even relatively small amounts of controlled substances can lead to serious felony exposure once a jail becomes involved. Individuals accused of bringing drugs into a jail in Oklahoma should seek legal guidance as early as possible because statements, procedural issues, and early case decisions can significantly affect the outcome of the prosecution. If you are facing charges, contact the Tulsa criminal defense lawyers at Kania Law Office at 918-743-2233 or visit our website,